Hello everyone, welcome back to another Blender tutorial. It's finally my first video after a couple of months. I don't know, it's been maybe 2, 3 months since I last uploaded, but I've been really busy with school and stuff, and I've been demotivated to work on anything in my channel. I actually have a couple of videos in production right now, but I'm doing hopefully I get around to finish them and upload them to this channel. And by then, hopefully, I get more subscribers, You never know. I just kind of get demotivated, A sub to the channel would really make my day. Anyways, you know what we're making today. You saw the title, you clicked the video, you know what we're making. We're making the 3D part, the camera zoom out of the Marvel intro. Now, in my Tay Productions Marvel intro, I said in the description that I won't be making a tutorial. Guess what? I was wrong. When are we not? And yeah, here's what we'll be making. Okay, so to start off, we never delete the default cube. We always hide it for now. Now let's start off with text. So let's add in text. Shift A or add and then text. Okay. By the way, everything I use will be in the description, the fonts and like images and stuff. However, the media that I use, in the zoom out, I'm not be including that. You can use your own media. All right, so yeah, we have our text here. So let's edit this to be random. Doesn't matter if it's all caps or all small even, because look, I'll prove it. Because the font we're going to be using is called Bebas, and it makes everything caps. So enter fonts. So go with your text selected, go here, and then go to font, regular, and then open the Bebas font. And so you'll have this, okay? So now your text is in all caps and a specific Marvel-like font. So after that, go to geometry and then extrude it to, like 1 meter, 1.5. It doesn't really matter where you extrude it because we're not going to be using this object anyways, all right? But once you're happy with how this looks, random extrusion is enough, okay? Just convert it to a mesh and then hide it for now. Then unhide the cube and go into wireframe view, then unhide the text again. Now, what you're going to want to do is create, a frame around the text with the cube. So, just going around making a frame, a rectangular one. And, after all this, and so after, I think this could be a bit smaller. So I'm just using S to scale. And then after this, scale it on the Z-axis to your preferred liking, this looks nice. All right. So once you're happy with the frame, you can go into mesh view again to see how it will look. I think we could enlarge this on the X-axis a bit and then on the Y a bit more. And then just make sure the text is cutting into the cube here. All right. It's just cutting out from both sides. So that's why the extrusion of the text doesn't really matter. So once you're done with that, with your cube selected, go into the modifiers tab, add a modifier Boolean. We're gonna add the Boolean modifier and then object text. Then hide the text for now. And as you can see, it cut into the cube. So what we're gonna select here is difference. And then we're gonna, apply. Then just shade flat. And there you go. Cube is shaded smooth for some reason. Anyways, once you're done with that, just unhide the text and, delete it. We don't need it anymore. So now you have your box over here, your cube with the text engraved into it. And yeah, you're good to go. Now we're just going to add in the metal bars, okay? We're going to hide this. Actually, we're not going to hide this cube. We're just going to add in a cube. Then we're going to just grab it over here, SY. So we can, make it into a bar. Then zoom in, really zoom in, and then try as best as you can to match up the, their height. They should be on the same Y. Okay, and that's as accurate as I can get. So let's move this on the X a bit. Okay, and then just Shift D and then Y, do the same thing. Then this time we're gonna do the same thing. Just GY over here. So just eyeballing it, you can see that, you know what, let's grab this on the X-axis for now. And then just, or how about this? You could just delete this and then grab this on the X-axis, duplicate it to the Y just to make sure that, they're on the same Y-axis. So grab this, then Shift select both of them and then just grab them on the Y-axis, move them away from the cube. So now you have your metal bars. For now, hide them. So let's name this actually metal bar 1, metal 1, and then metal 2, and then let's name this cube with text. All right, let's hide metal 1 and 2, and let's add in our other text. So grab this out, and then same thing, apply the font. Where's the font? There it is. So just apply the same font, bus, and should be the same thing. So let's just type here stuff, random stuff. Yeah, and that's going to be our Marvel intro. Let's grab it on the X-axis a bit and unhide your things over here. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, when you're making these, both of these, just scale them down on the same Z-axis so they can be the same height as the cube. And then after this, just select your text over here, and this will be stuff, okay? So after you have stuff selected, just extrude it to around, the same height as the cubes here as well. And, just go around, make everything look nice. 25.3 maybe, 25.3. That looks a bit much. Yeah, that sounds about right. That looks about right. All right, so you'll notice here that our stuff is a bit, off place. So let's just fix that. G to grab, and then S, scale it down. Set origin. I just right-clicked, set origin to set origin to geometry. So it scales down the right way. And then so we can scale this on the X-axis a bit. Grab it, and yeah, it's pretty good. So let's just grab metal 1 and 2 and then scale them on the X-axis. Now you're going to want to make sure that these are bigger than the actual text itself, because they're going to be drawing it in. So like they're going to, cover the entire text. So for example, if I select metal 1, it's going to have to encircle the entire text. And since metal 2 is the same size as metal 1, you really only have to check for one of them. All right, so now you just have the basic mesh for your intro. Now comes the materials. So actually, you know what? Let's do keyframing first. The materials could wait till the end. All right, so first go into rendered view, just because I like rendered view. And so basically, we're going to have to select metal 1 over here, and then just keyframe it. Keyframe its location. All right, just the location. Same thing with metal 2. All right, with frame 1, when you're in frame 1, just I, and then location with your object selected, of course. Now just go like to any frame, for example, 90, and then just click this capital Z, and then move it to around the middle. So where you think the metal bars will begin drawing the text in. So yeah, just move it around the middle. Same thing over here. Just make sure, they don't intersect that much. Oops. They don't intersect that much because, it's just not that fun. All right. So once you're happy with that, just keyframe their locations again. All right. So now all you have to do is just select metal 1, move this to after this, and then same thing, move this keyframe after this keyframe. Then move this keyframe back to 1. Same thing for metal 1, move this keyframe back to frame 1. All right, so if done correctly, should look like this. And that's exactly what we want. All right, now let's go back a few. So let's actually go to frame 90 and then keyframe this. So scale, this time we're keyframing the scale. All right, and then go back to frame 1 and then just SY, scale it on the Y-axis. So it's a bit smaller than that. And oh, forgot to keyframe. So SY, and then I scale. But we're actually going to be making a few changes because as you can see, this the metal bars actually disconnect from the text. So we're going to be moving this frame. Wait, why? Okay, so this should just make sure they both have correspond. So this is metal 2 selected on frame 90. Same thing, metal 1 on frame 90. All right. But actually move them to frame, let's say 110. Actually 100, just to be sure. And then move the same thing here from frame 90 to 100. And that's for the metal bars. All right. So after the text is finished drawing in, and then let's move this to 85. That's text keyframe selected. Let's move this keyframe to 85. And so now it looks much more natural. All right, so the bars are still moving after the text has been fully drawn in. And yeah, that looks all right. But the only thing that's kind of bothering me is just how squished this text looked. But, I never really found a way to fix that in Blender. Anyway, so after that, you should have a really cool looking animation over here. And just make sure, yeah, these look like they're on the same y-axis. All right, perfect. Now let's work on some materials, all right? So some of the images in the materials I've linked in the description, like the metal bars that I'm about to use for this cube right now. But for now, let's just work on the metal bars again. So tab into metal bar 1, doesn't really matter. And then just click tab to go into edit mode. Let's hide the stuff text for now. And let's go into mesh view, select this, and then go into materials, make a new material, and then click assign. And then make a new material, and then also click assign. So when you go over here, there's 2 materials. One is the entire body, and one is the red glow that we'll be using. So this one selected, hit assign, and then go into emission. And then, we'll set values later, but just wanted to make sure. So this will be the red glow, and this will be the body. And so real quick, just go into render settings, make sure EV is selected, and then select bloom. All right. And so, yeah, that looks about right. So go into red glow, obviously make it blue. I'm kidding. Let's make it red, and then, set an appropriate value, So like this reddish glow. Trying to make it as red as possible, but still, natural. So let's just set this here. You know what? Let's add maybe just, it takes time just finding the right glow, but once you do, it gives you a satisfying result. All right. And then so this, okay, let's unhide this stuff over here. And yeah, it should give you this, but let's make this a bit more. Yeah, let's hide this light for now. And yeah, so it should give you the effect that you want. Now, once you're done with that, just select metal 2 over here, and then click new materials, click this one, and then assign the body, and then assign the red glow. And so for when you select the metal 2, when you tab, all of it will be selected. Just so click the body and then assign. Then click this face, the one that will be drawing in the text. Go to red glow, hit assign. All right, so both of them are now glowing, and when we play back, both of them are now equally drawing the text. Now, if you notice in the Marvel intro, it has like a little, max glow, like it just goes over the top, then it calms down again. Yeah, we're gonna do that effect as well. So over here, when the text, is almost finished, like for example, check where you keyframe this, if it's frame 85, so maybe go to frame 80, for example. And then obviously go to keyframe 1 and then just keyframe it. Hit this with the red glow selected, click this button, that keyframes it. So go to frame, for example, 80, and then, set a ludicrous value, like, I don't know, just slide until this looks really bright. And then do that again. And then what's the value over here? Okay, yes. So 29, copy paste this. So go to frame, 75, actually. Yeah, 75 will do. And then paste that again, and then make another keyframe. So what we just did here is we made this entire thing the same color, but then when it goes, like, it fades a bit into the glow, and then it'll fade back. So this entire thing is just the same glow, and then 5 frames apart. So on frame 85, it should go back to its normal glow. So it should look like this. It's drawing in the text, normal glow, and then it does that really quick glow. We could make it a bit slower, of course. We could move it 10 frames apart. And yeah, that looks a bit more natural. So unhide the lights. And yeah, that looks really good so far. Now let's work on the body. And this will actually be the same body for the cube with text. So let's go over here, body, and then click this image texture. Last time I tried doing this tutorial, my mouth died. Let's hope it doesn't this time. So I've linked this image in the description in the folder available for download. So it's just open and then go to wherever you saved the image. Hang on, I'm just looking for it. And should be right. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So this image, you see here, there's these little metal streaks, and that's where you'll know you got it right. All right. So actually, we'll keep it like this for now because it looks much better. But for the metal, for the cube with text, we're gonna be rotating this. So you see how this is horizontal. Actually, let's rotate it. You know what? Because they should all have the same thing. And also, this should be applied here, just saying. So anyways, with both of them selected, all right, open a new window here, and then make this the UV editor. Then just select the metal image. Then tab into edit mode, click A, so you select everything, and then just U, project from view. So you click U, project from view, then A, R90, and just scale them up. So they can fit this entire thing. And make sure they don't overlap so nothing repeats, so it doesn't look broken. So yeah, now it looks much better. All right, you see here, so when you play it back, and yeah, this will be it. But we also want to do something. So we go into the shading tab. And so what you're gonna do is, this is the base color, right? So we're actually gonna make this like some subsurface color. So the subsurface color we're gonna set to completely black, and then we're gonna add a bit of subsurface, just so we can make it darker. So the metal just looks, rather than this, it looks, a bit more metallic and, just overall darker color. Then I'll just apply the same material, just apply the body material. And if it looks broken, just UV unwrap it. Same thing, just be the same thing. Yeah, just open the UV editor again, and then just tab. Oh, we have to convert this to a mesh, right? So convert it to a mesh, right click, convert to mesh, and then tab, hit A, and then UV, hit U, obviously, it's hit A, U, project from view. Then A or 90, and then scale it up, just just so it looks right. All right, so now all the metal bars are facing upwards. And so now you have this. Now you have the text is colored in, same with the metal bars. And so when you draw it in, it looks really cool. All right. And that's really kind of it, just for the metal bars and for the text. Now let's move on to our cube with text over here. Same thing, really. It's not much going on, just a body, and it should be, the metal bar should be facing sideways. So we'll just, quick UV unwrap them. So just UV editor, hit, everything, and then just U project from view, then just R, so A, R90, and then scale this up. And then that's it. And that's the material for your marble intro. That's the materials for your cube. Everything looks okay. So I think we could do with a better emission value for these, but I already keyframed it, so that's kind of big trouble. If you do want to undo all your keyframing and stuff, just select metal 1, red glow, and then go to your keyframes. Maybe let's 29, let's bump it up to 45. Okay. Then go to this frame, and then just do 45, and then go to the frame after it and just do 45. So now your glow will be reset. Oh, wait, sorry, we forgot to keyframe that. So 45, you have to keyframe it. So, oh yeah, that's my mistake. All right. So go back to frame 1, click 45, and then double click this button. So frame over here, frame 45, and then click this button again. Then 10 frames after, double click this button, just 45, and then click here. So now your default emission value is 45 instead of 29, and or whatever your old value is. It doesn't really matter. All right, and let's just save this just in case it crashes. So Marvel intro tutorial, and then just that's it really. Okay, now once that's done out of the way, it's time for the camera movement. But before we begin the camera movement, let's just quickly add in a plane, and then just grab that on the y-axis, scale it up, and then make it a really dark color, just plain color. And let's just rename this into the background. All right, and just zoom it and stuff, and make sure everything looks nice. Just make sure it intersects. Not that much though, so you have more room. So just over here, just so you are exactly sure that this is the right value. So when we click Z and then just do this, then perfectly draws the stuff text in. Now obviously you won't see the emission values, but once we do this, and let's select our light over here and then just move it, let's center it so there aren't any shadows. Where is that light anyways? So yeah, let's start with the camera movement now. What is that? I don't know what this is, orange glow. It looks kind of cool though. Anyways, so it's time for some, the main part is the zooming out. Okay, so select a strategic letter that has a lot of sides. So for me, I'd like to do the A. The A is much better. Sorry about that. It's just random noise. Anyways, the A is a strategic letter to begin. So let's 0 for the camera, and then just zoom in. Then N, view, camera to view, lock it, and then just click this button right here. Just make sure this is toggled on. Anyways, so what you really need to do right now is just go to frame, for example, like 100, and then click Z, and then view, line view, and then align active camera to view. So what that'll do is just this. So make sure there aren't any shadows. All right. So once that's out of the way, I'll just go quickly through my EV render settings and just shadows 4K, shadows 4K, and then that should settle it. If you want to copy these settings, sure, I just do everything 4K, disable soft shadows, and then enable high bit depth. That really helps me a lot. All right, anyways, let's save. And now let's start with the A. All right, so let's go back to frame 1 over here. And then view, line active camera view. All right, so what your camera should be seeing right now is the inside of the A. So when it zooms out, and then should go back to all the way over there. All right, so that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. All right, so go into like this corner of whatever letter you're in, you chose, and then keyframe it. So select the camera and keyframe its movement. So location, rotation, and scale. And so go back to frame 100, and then just Z, and then view, align camera to view, and then just move it over here a bit, zoom in maybe, and then I location, rotation, and scale. So the camera should do this. Now, obviously, we're going to add a lot of keyframes throughout the way, and you're going to be able to see our Marvel intro, don't worry. But while that is happening, oh, what did I just do? All right, so while that is happening, just the camera does this, and that's perfect. All right. So now let's add in our materials. So our A and stuff, the footage that you're going to use for your letters. All right, so let's begin with this side. All right, so you're gonna want to save because this part may get a bit unstable. I don't know, but it could. So just open up another window. My brain lagged there for a second. Another window, and then just select the UV editor and just 0 view or no, whatever this is. All right, just select a new one. And then go into materials with this face selected. All right, with whatever face you're doing, just make sure that face is selected. Make a new material, call it media 1. All right, and then hit assign, and then it should flip white. Like it should not have these metal bars anymore. All right, that's good. So we're gonna make this into an image texture, and then we're gonna tweak some settings first. So what we're gonna want to do is repeat, and then I think that's pretty good. So now open your video. So whatever video you have, I'm just gonna open one of my YouTube videos. Maybe this one was good. All right, and then this is movie. Okay, so this should last maybe 100. Let's make it last 200 frames. All right, and start frame 1, and then just click cyclic and auto refresh. All right. And so what you should see is just when you open this and then hit that, click this -X and then view, protect from view. All right. So scale it up. And then you should see your video. There it is. There's the video. It's playing. That's good. That's your first side right there. And that just rinse and repeat the process for every single side. All right, if you have made it till here, good job. You've successfully assigned all your videos to your letters. All right, that's amazing. So I just have this here, checking something to to understand everything should play properly. All right, so once you're done with that, we're gonna need to fix our camera movement. So you know how when you play, just skips literally everything and then just at around frame 100, just focus on the good stuff, the logo. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. But first, we need to do something. Select metal 1 and metal 2 and stuff, and then just move all their keyframes. Oh, metal 1 isn't selected. Select all their keyframes, and then just move it to start at frame 50. The frame that was once at 1, move it to start at 50. And I guess stuff wasn't selected either. So just select everything, select these three things and just move their frames to like 50 frames apart. So when you play this, it doesn't start drawing in the text until it's at frame 50, which is about when our camera will start zooming out, which is, gives us good enough headroom. And, if you always need more space, just select all three and then just move their keyframes, back or front or whenever you want. So click 0 over here, and it's gonna play. Just click play from your keyframe point. Just hit play, and then actually just go back to frame 1, and then let's scale this camera down a bit. So literally just scale it down. Oops. Okay. So let's scale it down for now, just so we can see what we're going. But by the way, scaling doesn't do anything to your POV. And just grab it on the z-axis, just skip a few frames and scale it on the z-axis. Just grab it over here. And then if you look into your thing and then just move over here down a bit, just make sure nothing it's cutting into the camera, all right? So just zoom out as far as you can, but with nothing getting in the way. So after that, just location, rotation, and scale. So that looks right-ish. So go to around frame 40 and then just make this cube with text the focus object. And then location, rotation, and scale. But you're gonna notice something here. It clips, which is exactly what we don't want it to do. So at this clipping, we're gonna move this frame. We're actually gonna delete this frame. And so it still clips though. So how do we fix this? Well, we do a simple rotation keyframe. So let's move this a bit to frame 50, then select all these and then just move them to frame 70. All right. So with our camera selected over here, just let's move this to frame 60. And then still at frame 100. Also, by the way, make sure that whatever keyframe this ends at, for example, now it ends at frame 154, metal 2, like metal 1, it ends at 169. So select the camera, this ending keyframe at 169. So when you play it back, the middle bar should be done drawing in stuff at frame 169, and that's when your camera should stop moving. All right, and that looks great. All right, but now we want to erase this clipping. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we need to give it more time to zoom out. So at frame 25, just go back in there and force the camera back in. And then just make sure there's no intersecting as well. And just make it look at your beautiful footage. And then, yeah, just keyframe, location, rotation, and scale. So when you look through the camera, it still zooms out, but it's not enough. So what we're actually going to do is with this keyframe, we're going to zoom in a bit further, right? And then obviously location, rotation, and scale. So just make sure nothing clips. And then let's move this to like frame 40, for example. So it has enough time to move through your footage. And then let's set this FPS to something a bit like 24, I think is fine. Then you'll notice that as soon as it hits this frame, it just runs out. And that's because it's a bit far. So let's just zoom in on this A bit. And then location, rotation, and scale, and that's with the keyframe selected. So it zooms out on your footage. And then it still clips though. So how can we fix that? Oh, and by the way, the camera just auto adjusts itself after a few keyframes. After you just rotate, it just starts zooming out. And then you will start to notice the text over here and it'll start drawing itself out. And yeah, that's it. That's the part of the camera, but we need to fix that clipping. So how do we do that? Well, over here, and then just exit the camera mode and then just click over here to just rotate it on the x-axis. We'll just make that look down, and then location, rotation, and scale. So if we do that, and so why does it wait? Hang on. If we delete this keyframe over here, okay, yeah, so obviously it's a bit buggy here, but what I'm trying to say is just delete this. And then, you know what, just Control-Z, don't delete anything and don't add any new keyframes. Sorry about all that, just, yeah, just delete these two, whatever, doesn't really matter. But we just accidentally delete our camera, just select these two keyframes, hit delete, all right? So select your camera, 0, and still clips. So how do we fix the clipping? Well, we can't zoom it out, so we're gonna have to rotate it. So the clipping I noticed starts from here. So we'll just shift and then make it over here a bit. Just make sure no clipping appears in the frame. And location, rotation, and scale. Then around here, where it clips, just rotate the camera on the x-axis, and so make sure no clipping appears. So location, rotation, and scale. So now it's showing even more clipping, but that's fine because we're gonna fix it. So we're gonna go into around this frame and then just erase the clipping entirely, and just so rotation, location, rotation, and scale. This is tongue twister now. So now it doesn't show the clipping, it just zooms out and it shows everything, but now it's just not showing everything else. So just gonna have to go over here, zoom out, and find a suitable location, rotation, and scale. And yeah, it's just gonna start zooming out, and then it's gonna go to the original logo spot. And that's it. That's the camera movement. Now there's only one thing left, then it's just to make this fade, make the materials fade out. So just go over here and then just select the cube with text, go to materials, media 1. So media 1. So wither thing selected here, go to subsurface and then make this an image texture. And then make this the metal color. And then it should be, if we just set the subsurface to max, it should be the metal bar, which is perfect. That is what we want. All right. So let's set the subsurface to 0 for now, and let's just keyframe it at frame 1. And so at around, pick a suitable frame where it just starts to get out a little, yeah, at around frame 60 for me. just set this to 1. And then at around frame 50, just go back here, set it to 0. So you won't notice it because I selected an invisible one over here, but if you rinse and repeat the process for every single thing, so just go here, subsurface, the color of the subsurface, and then image texture, select the middle, and then, go ahead and do the keyframing. So here it's 0, over here on 50, it's 0, and then over here on 60, it's 1. And then you keyframe that and then save, and then everything goes back to normal. So let's do it on a frame where it's more visible. We're obviously gonna have to do it for all things, so just so which one is this? This one is media. I don't know which media it is. Just go by through the list. So we already did media 1 and media 2. Now let's just do media 3. All right, so yeah, I'm done with making everything fade out. So if you go back here, everything is playing, all your media is playing. And so as soon as it fades out, it just goes to the same color. And I'm not sure why it does this white glowing thing. I guess we could fix that by reducing the colors a bit. So maybe body, well, we select each media color and then just shading subsurface color. So I guess we could subsurface. Yeah, I'm not sure why it glows like that. Maybe you could just fix the IOR. If that does anything? No. But this is media 1, so I think it's this wall over here. What if we do this? Yeah, I'm not really sure how to fix that, but anyways. Yeah, and that's how you do it, okay? And then that's basically it. You finished your own Marvel intro, but this white thing, I'm still not sure what it is. But yeah, if you've made it this far, congratulations. You just made your own 3D part of the Marvel intro. I might do the other part soon, I don't know. But yeah, that's really it for now. And I'm really proud of you. You finally did something good in Blender. Failure. I'm kidding. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a lovely day.